Hey guys, damn, I really don't know how to make this video right now. I really wanted to do something to honor all the Black trans lives that we've lost in the past year. And I mean, even in the past week. A lot of people follow me online because I do LGBTQ+ content, and there's trans violence all the time. But what a lot of people don't know is that 89% of all trans violence since 2013, 89% has affected people of color. That's huge. And specifically, the biggest group affected by this violence are Black women. I mean, I feel like we're always reposting and like signal boosting like the names of Black trans women that have died. I shouldn't even say have died, have been murdered for literally being trans and Black. We're always reposting their names, but if you Google those names, typically what's gonna come up is them being misgendered by the media, or what's being talked about is really like how they were brutally murdered, and not anything about their life, who they loved, what they loved. And it's just really dehumanizing. So I found an article by out.com. It was published in September of 2019, and I just found out about it today, where they took all the Black trans women and non-conforming people that were murdered last year, and they wrote obituaries for them about who they loved, what they loved to do, what the people that love them remember about them. And I mean, it's just like absolutely night and day from like what you get on like, I don't know, hrc.org that just reports on, you know, who has died and like what their name was and what the cause of death was. The things that we don't know about these people that we're mourning is insane. And the amount of specifically Black people that are targeted and are murdered is insane. And so I really wanted to do a video honoring all of the Black trans people that we've lost last year and so far this year, and share with you guys the positivity that they had in their lives, who they were, what they loved. Again, this isn't everyone that is affected because so many trans-related violences just go unreported. So my apologies to anyone that was missed in this article or whose stories were just never told because of the violence against trans and Black people. This article was also posted in September of 2019, and of course and unfortunately there's been more violence since then. So to all the Black trans people that I could find online since the date of this being posted, I've also found who they were and things that HRC has posted about them or people have posted about them to keep their memory alive. And I'll be sharing that as well. So in this video, I'm not gonna be sharing how they died or anything graphic to that effect. I'm just gonna be sharing who they were for those who remember them and those who never got to meet them. This is for our Black trans community that we lost. Larissa Ashanti Carmen was born June 8th, 1991 and died March 30th, 2019. Larissa was loved. A month before her passing, Larissa accepted a marriage proposal from her boyfriend of 6 years, Philip Williams. The two met through a mutual friend after both leaving abusive relationships and crafted, quote, a storybook love out of a hopeless place. They're so sweet. As their partnership grew, Larissa transformed from a young woman who was estranged from her family to waking up next to the love of her life every day. Her boyfriend says, our relationship was always about happiness, never sadness, and we were right for each other. Her personality was genuine and off the scale, and it was just something that I've been hoping for my entire life, and it was the same for her in reverse. Early on, Larissa declared that Love Like This by Faith Evans was the perfect upbeat song to describe how she felt about her Prince Charming. With Williams' support, they eventually moved into an apartment of their own, and she gradually began to find employment outside of sex work. Within the month of her passing, she actually would have started her new career as an airline stewardess. A quote from her fiance is, I miss her so deeply. She just wanted to be equal and accounted for as a human being, and he misses her heart of gold the most. Larissa was followed in her passing by friend Zoe Spears, another Black trans woman. Rest in power, Larissa Ashanti Carmen. Dana Martin was born February 6, 1987, and died January 6, 2019. A quote, quiet storm of a woman, Dana was simultaneously a very private and sweet person and a people person. With her thick country accent, she exhibited southern hospitality to anyone she encountered. Dana's childhood friend DeMarcus Simmons remembers her being very cool and laid back. His favorite memory of Martin is riding around in her late 1990s edition gold Nissan Maxima and blasting Pretty Rick, Jackie O, and Yin Yang Twins. Another one of her friends, Cruz Burnett, says that she loved Aaliyah and the film The Players Club. A hard worker, Dana's jobs at the local casino and later at a Family Dollar put her in regular contact with community, and she was beloved by all. A quote from Burnett says, Dana didn't bother anybody, period. Everybody liked Dana, and if they didn't, it was because they didn't know her. Dana was very quiet and reserved for the most part. Rest in power, Dana Martin. Jazzaline Ware was born April 6, 1984, and died March 25th, 2019. Jazzaline was an energetic, caring, and bubbly person who, quote, always tried to put a smile on someone's face and help someone if she could, according to her dear friend Tamisha Pruitt. After meeting via a mutual friend in 1999, Pruitt, another North Memphis girl, became a mentor of sorts, being 4 years older than Jazzaline. Early in their friendship, she set and and completed a goal of going to cosmetology school and becoming a hairstylist. From then on, Jazzaline's passions was, and I quote, to whip and slay curls, and her friends never shied away from her services. Sometimes she discounted them for trans community members who just couldn't afford the full price. A quote from her friend and mentor Pruitt says, as far as making girls feel better about themselves, I don't know if she even looked at it like that, but when you get your hair done, you have a better feeling about yourself. You just feel more confident and you feel like you can go and make things happen. And she gave girls a lot of confidence that they probably didn't have at first. She was a motivator and was known for trusting the power of perseverance and ambition. One of her favorite quotes was, go try it. It said that she was a soldier. She believed what she believed in and she would fight for what she believes in. Friend and mentor Pruitt says, Jazzaline, I love you and I'll see you one day. Rest in power, Jazzaline Ware. Claire Legato Williams was born November 9th, 1997 and died May 14th, 2019. With her, and I quote, big Disney eyes and inviting smile, Claire knew how to put a smile on your face and how to put on a show. The self-identified thespian enjoyed a stint with the Cleveland Public Theater's Student Theater Enrichment Program, also known as STEP, in her youth. According to her friend Desiree Avery, Claire taught her how to turn any bad situation into a better one. Avery shares that she was awesome to have around and she really was a natural-born mother type. Her friend fondly remembers how attached she was to Willow Smith's song, I Am Me, and how that song helped her come to terms with her gender identity. Rest in power, Claire. Malaysia Leigh Booker was born January 14th, 1997 and died May 18th, 2019. When all eyes were on her, Malaysia Booker proved to be fearless. With dreams of becoming a broadcast journalist and a larger-than-life Facebook presence, she regaled followers with story time, which was her own report of the world around her. Her childhood friend Jessica Anderson remembers her as being a ball of energy and herself regardless of who she was around, but she was also very nurturing and encouraging naturally. Just weeks before her passing, she gained a national platform after being assaulted and fiercely speaking out at a rally to bring attention to the epidemic of violence plaguing trans women of color. Her quote says, this time it was me. Next time it'll be someone else close to you. This time I can stand before you, whereas in other scenarios we're at a memorial. Our time to seek justice is now. If not now, when? Rest in power, Leigh Booker. Michelle Tamika Washington was born December 22nd, 1978 and died May 19th, 2019. Strong-willed and fearless are among the first words used to describe Tamika by her close friend Sharon Cooks. The pair met 25 years ago in the heart of Philadelphia's nightlife and became chosen sisters. A quote from Cooks says, we experienced so much life together, we were inseparable. Tamika was a worldly woman who dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur. She loved to read about different cultures, make jewelry, and collect rare stones and crystals. An avid animal lover, Tamika had a soft spot for cats and birds. A quote from Cooks says she always loved to let birds fly around her apartment because they weren't meant to be caged. And alongside her air of groundedness, she was a hilarious prankster. Rest in power, Tamika. Paris Laren Cameron was born July 17th, 1998 and died May 25th, 2019. Whether it was a romantic or platonic relationship, Paris loved hard, says her lover turned friend Jordan Banks. Despite ups and downs while dating, he insisted, quote, Paris was my everything for 3 years. We lived together, argued, made up, fell out, made up, but never really separated. Banks goes on to describe her as overprotective, very sensitive, but a fighter too. Always down for a good time. Paris enjoyed hanging out with friends, listening to music, and twerking and voguing her buns off. She worked as a retail clerk at the Detroit Zoo, but dreamed of one day opening her own business, and was on a journey to figure out exactly of what kind. Rest in power, Paris Cameron. Chanel Lindsey Haslett was born October 30th, 1992, and died June 1st, 2019. After being adopted as a young child after her mother passed away, Chanel took on a quest to reconnect with her biological family in her adulthood. During that time, she lived with and became inseparable to her cousin, Tamaya Lindsey. They always enjoyed their time together, cracking jokes and playing pranks on each other. A quote from her cousin says, I could just see her right there, right now, asking me dumb questions just to annoy me. And then she would just giggle like, I know the answer, I just wanted to make you mad. Her cousin founded a nonprofit called CATS, Kids Are Truly Special, which is a nonprofit to assist homeless teens. Chanel expressed a desire to become a mentor to LGBTQ+ youth. She said, one day I'm gonna work with young kids so that they don't end up making the same mistakes I've made. Rest in power, Chanel Lindsey. Chanel Scurlock was born August 11th, 1995 and died June 5th, 2019. Chanel was, and I quote, a big baby who wouldn't hurt a fly, according to her mother, Brenda Scurlock. With her bubbly personality and outspokenness, Chanel was endlessly supportive of those that she loved. Her mom says that she was a friendly person. She was always more of a friend to her friends than they were to her. Her mom remembers her being very helpful at home, with a passion for anything pertaining to fashion. Chanel cherished her retail job at the local mall, and she also excelled at makeup artistry, and quote, wasn't afraid to show off her skills. Rest in power, Chanel Scurlock. Zoe Spears was born June 18th, 1995 and died June 13th, 2019. Zoe began visiting Casa Ruby as a young adult. She immediately latched on to the longtime community identity advocate Ruby Corrado. Corrado says, one of the first things that she said to me was, I want to transition and I want you to be my mother. As they grew closer, Zoe would endearingly break the rules at the organization. Like, and I quote, jovially running around the drop-in center semi-naked, Zoe had dreams of becoming a lawyer to support people dealing with mistreatment. Corrado recalls, she wanted to defend herself and others. Security is what she was looking for. Rest in power, Zoe Spears. Brooklyn Lindsey was born March 2nd, 1987 and died June 25th, 2019. Brooklyn was a star of her own making. In a BuzzFeed interview, Brooklyn's close friend Raven Johnson remembers her as outgoing and happy-go-lucky. She always liked helping people and doing what she can. Brooklyn also had dreams of motivating others to accomplish their greatest goals as a life coach. Rest in power, Brooklyn Lindsey. Denali Stuckey was born July 1st, 1990 and died July 20th, 2019. With her unique personality, Denali was known as a people's person who could automatically make a friend out of nearly anyone. Her cousin Ronrico Judon misses her golden smile the most. She loved listening to music and dancing, often dancing at the least expected times. Denali also loved children and enjoyed the quality time she got to spend with her nieces and nephews through babysitting. Her cousin says, in her living her truth authentically and unapologetically, it inspired me in more ways than she would ever think. Rest in power, Denali. Tracy Single was born April 2nd, 1997 and died July 30th, 2019. You always knew if Tracy was in the building, end quote, says Courtney Sellers, the executive director of the Montrose Grace Place. She says she was really tall, loud, boisterous, and funny. Seeking support as a homeless youth. Tracy's quote, big energy left a huge impact on those who worked at and frequented Montrose Tracy Place. Also expressed interest in becoming a drag performer. Quote, she did just what she wanted to do. She loved to dance. Sellers says we would put on music and the youth would just twerk all over the place and she loved that. Rest in power, Tracy Single. Kiki Fantroy was born September 28th, 1997 and died July 31st, 2019. Kiki dreamed of becoming a fashion icon and always wore a quote, head-turning outfit. Her mother, Rhonda Comer, says she could be going to the store down the street and her hair and nails were going to look good. With a caring heart, Kiki was always assuring her mother that she would take care of her throughout her life. If ever Comer was distraught, Kiki would make her smile. Inspired by Kiki's experience, Comer has dedicated herself to advocating for LGBTQ+ youth. She says, I'm working on building a safe haven. I think it's so important that parents be there for them. Rest in power, Kiki. Bubba Walker was born May 8th, 1964 and died July 27th, 2019. Known as a maternal figure to numerous Charlotte community members, Bubba Walker is remembered as skillful, kind, and loving by Caitlin Clarabelle in interviews with the Charlotte Observer and Planet Transgender. They have fond memories of the older woman with distinctive wide eyes, a cool smirk, and a wide smile. Quote, she was always smiling and was a people person. She lit up everywhere she went and everyone loved her. Clarabelle goes on to say that Bubba was sometimes a reserved person, but she was, quote, one of those people who was really fun to be around. Rest in power, Bubba Walker. Pebbles LaDime Doe was born November 16th, 1994 and died August 4th, 2019. One glimpse at Pebbles and you can tell that she was just another 20-something-year-old loving her youth and trying to find her place in the world. Her bright smile and inviting eyes will endure far beyond her years on this earth. She loved cracking jokes, whether online or in person, and is remembered by many for her distinctive laugh. Her family, especially her mother, Deborah Sapp, loved her dearly and has been elevating her story in the media, demanding justice on her behalf. Rest in power, Pebbles. Bailey Reeves was born July 8th, 2002 and died September 2nd, 2019. 17-year-old Bailey was on track to start her senior year of high school and figure out her path in life. Her older sister, Taylor Reeves, says she sometimes spoke about being a doctor or a lawyer. Quote, Bailey just had so many things that she wanted to do. She was creative, intelligent, and a straightforward girl. She was known to tell people how things were and how the world should be. With a generous spirit, she relished in teaching her loved ones beauty tricks. Quote, she was just a wild child, a free-spirited child, and Bailey didn't have any fear. Rest in power, Bailey Reeves. B. Love Slater was born September 11th, 1997 and died September 4th, 2019. B was a fairly popular and sweet girl who, quote, transitioned early and was in a great place, says her friend and Taurus Williams in an interview with Out. He also remembers her as a good spirit, a prankster, and a joker. The self-proclaimed brown-skinned bag had dreams of branching out from her small community in southern Florida. Quote, she was so precious, loving, and kind, says her friend Tisha Jones in an interview with Insider. Quote, she didn't mess with anybody and all she wanted to do was level up in life and live. Rest in power, B. Italy Marlowe was born November 1st, 1989 and died September 20th, 2019. Traveling the world was at the top of Italy's bucket list. Her mother, Katonia, says Italy wanted to go everywhere. Remembering their daily phone calls, her mother says she'd say, "Mama, I think I'm gonna go here." However, her fun and outgoing daughter never got the chance to leave the United States, but enjoyed exciting domestic trips. Her favorites were to go to California, Florida, New York, and North Carolina. She also remembers her daughter's love for animals. She says, quote, "I don't think anybody could ever be like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because she was one of a kind." Rest in power, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Marlowe. Brianna Bibi Hill was born March 24th, 1989, and died October 14th, 2019. Loud, outspoken, and fun is how Bibi's friend Trayshawn Seymour remembers her. Quote, "If we were having a sad day, she would just jump on you, kiss all on you, and start telling you jokes," she says. She had a good spirit and a good soul. The pair met when Bibi was a teenager, but grew closer years later, when Seymour became a mentor of sorts for her medical transition and career in adult entertainment. She was Black Tea Girl's Model of the Month for 2 months consecutively, Seymour says. Quote, "She was one of the girls that had a lot of potential." Rest in power, Bibi. Monica Diamond died March 18th of this year. She was a businesswoman and business owner in North Carolina, and she was 34 years old. Diamond was the founder and co-owner of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Promotion Company. I totally did not say that right, but it's an event marketing company according to the Human Rights Campaign. She was also co-CEO of the International Mother of the Year pageantry system, which honors LGBTQ+ mothers. This quote from The Advocate says, "Through her work, Diamond spent her adult life creating community and safe spaces for LGBTQ+ people in Charlotte and beyond to come together and celebrate their lives. She was a chosen mother to countless people," and this quote says that she was a business owner, a loving friend, and she did not deserve to have her life taken from her. Rest in power, Monica Diamond. Nina Pop died May 3rd of this year. She was a 28-year-old woman in Missouri. A week before her death, on her Facebook, she talked about her home and family, sharing a throwback photo of her and her siblings. Pop's family, friends, and community are mourning her loss and sharing on Facebook that, quote, "Everyone loved her." Nina worked at a fast food restaurant in Sikeston, Missouri, and was very well known in the area. Her friend Emery told a news outlet, quote, "She was always happy." Rest in power, Nina Pop. And last is Tony McDade, a Black transgender man from Florida, who died on May 27th of this year, just a couple days ago. McDade used the nickname Tony the Tiger with friends, and he was a Gemini. His friends are mourning his death online by saying, quote, "You have such a big heart. Just your energy would lift my spirits." I know the purpose of this wasn't to talk about how they were killed, but I think it's important to note he was actually shot by a police officer because he was a suspect for a crime. And something that someone's quoted saying on one of these articles is that he never will get his day in court. That's not justice. That's a privilege that we see so many white people get. They will get their day in court when Black people will just be shot. Why? Rest in power, Tony McDade. Literally, the sun has set. There's a huge problem. I love you. I hope you're safe. I hope you're supported by those around you. If there's anyone who was a victim to this type of violence that you would like their story to be heard that was not talked about in this video, please leave them down below in the comments. Happy Pride Month. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.